You're listening to Mind, Body, Home with your host, Sara Ann. All right, this week we are coming full circle with our decluttering series, and I'm going to wrap it up today with clutter in the home as part 3. The home, I think for many of us, that's what we associate the word clutter to, right? Because it is what is seen with our eyes, as opposed to when talking about mental clutter or body clutter, that is more unseen, although it's still felt and no doubt just as powerful. The timing to look at our space, our environment, or home is perfect too, because we're shifting into spring's energy with the equinox happening today or tomorrow, depends on when you're listening. And so this is a really powerful time where we have nature sort of on our back to encourage us and support us in letting things go that no longer serve us or resonate with us. You know, we have to remove things to make room for new. And that's what spring energy is all about. It's inviting the newness, right? New beginnings. So today I'm going to talk about some of the areas of the home to start paying attention to. Or maybe things have already been coming up for you from the previous episodes. And if so, what are they? Start to bring those sort of into your awareness now as we walk through the home. Or maybe you're having a hard time connecting to the mental clutter or the clutter in the body. So starting with clutter inside your home is the perfect place to start for you, because we can start to physically move things out of the home, out of our awareness, out of our eyesight. And that energy alone will start to bring some other things into mental awareness. So we're going to just scratch the surface today. I'm going to be going deeper in the workshop on April 3rd. And so just a quick reminder about that. I should have more information by the end of the week or early next week. The kids were home on spring break last week, so I was really just trying to intentionally be present with them and not focused on work. So I lost a little bit of time, but I'm back at it this week. But all the information that I have for you now is that it's happening on April 3rd, which is a Wednesday, most likely going to be around the lunch hour. So just go ahead to the link in the show notes. You can sign up for it there. I just need your name and your email. And when I have all the details, I will send you an email with further details. So remember that I think I talked about a few weeks ago that your home is sort of like one big vision board. Okay. Every area of the home has a meaning or connects to some aspect of life. And so maybe the first step you can do is start walking through your home slowly with a discerning eye, right? And picking up on things that catch your attention. These might be things that frustrate you or irritate you, right? Like a particular corner of the countertop that you just can never keep clear, or the family just sort of dumps all of their things there, right? We all have a space like that in our home, or maybe a whole entire room. I had a room like that for a long time. It was like, I don't know what to do with this thing, so I'm just going to put it in here and close the door. And also, before even doing this walkthrough, invite your intuition with you, right? Invite it in to sort of come along on this journey with you through your home. And some things I want you to start looking for. I always like to start at the front door because it's one of the first places that we walk into or our guests walk into. So that front entry is very significant and very important. It's the first thing we see upon walking into the space. And if the first thing we're met with is clutter, that sort of sets the stage for the rest of the home, right? So addressing clutter in this space should take somewhat of a priority. And so I'd like you to start there, at least for this little walkthrough exercise. Is the front door accessible? Do the handles work? Can you see it? Can you see the house number? Can people find you? If people can't find you, opportunities can't find you. So being really clear, even from the exterior, before even walking in, is important. When you walk in, is there an entry table that just collects dust and paper and mail and junk? Receipts. Receipts are a big one for me. I have to really remember to keep my receipts in check and go through them continually. Because there's nothing more annoying than throwing away a receipt to something that you have to return. So starting at the front entry, and then from there, everybody's floor plan is different, just moving through the home again, slowly and with a discerning eye. So we're looking for, again, just messy papers all over, okay? This could be in the entry. This could be in the kitchen, those countertops we just talked about, your office desk especially. I know that's another accumulation area for me. Maybe it's takeout menus, old like files and financial statements. I just did this. We're getting ready to move in a couple weeks into our new home. And I just went through all of our financial bins, and I had stuff from our home back in Pittsburgh. Part of this was because it was tax season. I needed to access a lot of this stuff already, so it was at top of mind. But this is another great time to go back. And, I had paperwork from a vehicle that I haven't owned in like 10 years, right? So this is a great time to work on things like that. So messy papers is a really great way to look at your environment and start moving that energy. Things you don't use, this could be expired food, old pots and pans, maybe some broken kitchen items, right? In your bathroom, maybe it's unused bath products. You get an abundance of that stuff over the holidays. Unending amounts of Bath and Body Works and lotions and creams. Get rid of that stuff, okay? You can donate it. There are a lot of people that would love to have that. So donate it, get rid of it, drop it off at a women's shelter. There are all kinds of ways you can find better uses than just storing them in your own closets, okay? Collections of things. That is also a big one. It's really important to remember that it is okay to have a collection. For you, that could be antiques. It could be records, stamps, baseball cards, right? Anything that you had a passion for in the past and you still own, take a really good look at it. How can you minimize it? Do you have to keep every single thing? Can you maybe just pick a few or maybe even up to 10 of your favorite pieces from your collection? Does your collection even still resonate with you? Are you still collecting these items? Or does it bring up some sort of childhood memory or connection with a family member? Right? Again, this is that discerning part, being really intentional about why you're holding on to something and start to ask yourself these questions. And, another thing to look for is really anything that drains your energy. And you're going to look through that everywhere in your home. Anything that reminds you of a negative event, a negative person. These are things like gifts that you've held on to, but you never really liked. Anything that's just no longer you. Right? Anything with a negative symbolism, obviously, and especially any inherited items that you've kept out of guilt or even shame. See if another family member wants it, throw it out, donate it. These are all the things that I would start looking for. And some of the things you want to ask are, do you love it? Do you use it? Do you need it? Right? Does it make me smile? Does it give me some positive memory? Those are all the important questions, and I think somewhat obvious, and doing this process doesn't need to be daunting. I think a lot of us do think that decluttering or cleaning out our stuff is a daunting process. And the reason for that is because it brings up a lot of emotion. So make it fun, make it a challenge, and maybe do it with another friend or a family member. Schedule it, make the time for it because it's something we will always put off. And when you do it, play some music, right? Vibrational sound gets the energy moving. And, I also like to recommend having an unsure box because there are going to be things that come up that you're not sure if you're ready to really let them go, but they certainly don't need to have a permanent place in your home anymore, or it just doesn't feel like it belongs anymore, right? So just put them in there. and, come back to it. Come back to it at the end of your session. Come back to it at the end of the week. See what the feeling is wrapped up around there again, because the energy that you start moving through the body and the home and even like the mental space, it's going to start feeling overwhelming at times. So the first step really is just walking through the main areas of your home with a discerning eye and being really honest in answering those questions of, do I love it? Do I use it? Is it broken? Can I use it? Like, am I going to actually fix it, right? Be really honest with yourself here. So the next step is to also be mindful of basements, attics, garages, right? These places still count. The attic represents higher consciousness. So you don't want to have too much clutter up there, hindering the flow of guidance coming through to you, right? Clutter in the attic can block you mentally and even spiritually. And basements, on the opposite hand, represent repressed emotions or anything you sort of push away or you don't want to deal with. And then think about the garage. If you parked your car in your garage and it's cluttered, this is the first thing you see leaving and entering your home every single day. And again, this is subconsciously draining your energy. You just don't, it's subconscious. You're not aware of it. Maybe you don't even park your car in the garage because you have so much clutter. Okay. These are the areas that also need to be addressed, if not one of the most severe. If we're looking to tackle like a huge decluttering process, these are maybe not the place to start because they are going to probably be overwhelming, but don't put them off. I think a lot of times we stress about going through our clutter, but we really never make the time to tackle it. And honestly, we end up expending more energy by stressing over it than we would if we just did the actual project. So, try to have fun with it. That's the best advice I have for anyone who is maybe feeling a little bit overwhelmed by their clutter. So that's taking a more general look at the space. That is taking a very superficial approach to maybe getting started. And then when we have the energy and the time to really start tackling some of those unseen areas of the home, like the basement, attics, and garages, we can also take an even deeper look at our clutter. And this is where we start to connect that mind, body, home clutter aspect. If you're having a hard time with mental clutter, it's most likely showing up for you in the form of decision-making, right? Procrastination. You're not feeling clear about some decision you need to make. So some practices you could do to help get that mental clutter moving is to pay attention to all the surfaces in your home. And I touched on this a little bit in the mental clutter episode a few weeks back. For now, ignore the closets and the drawers and the cabinets and just start clearing space on your countertops in the kitchen or the bathroom vanity, your dressers, your nightstands, your desk. Or even the dining room table. I know a lot of times, especially people with young kids, we've got homework and projects. Sometimes that's where the mail ends up. Some families can't even eat at their dining room table because there's so much clutter. So paying attention to your surfaces is a great way to start shifting some of the mental clutter utilizing your home. Even if you just have to put everything in one big pile to just get the surfaces clear, that's enough to start. So now your eyes and your brain, they have the ability to see, because before you couldn't see through all of the stuff. And now we can see all throughout our home and we can move about our day with some clarity and some mindful presence, right? We can come into the kitchen and cook a meal or fix a snack or make a drink without the nagging clutter taking up our space. We can get ready for the day in front of our mirror without all the bottles and the cords and the brushes and the pins and the jewelry. We can be present with ourselves while we groom ourselves and make time for reflection, right? What a beautiful metaphor is that, to have time in our bathroom for reflection as we are literally looking at ourselves in the mirror. And before bed, our dressers and our nightstand is clear, and so we can relax into bed for a deep night's rest. And again, all of this clutter on your surfaces is affecting you subconsciously. You're not aware of it. But I can tell you, once you clear the surfaces, you will notice a difference. You will be more at ease. You will find more spaciousness. Another way to tackle clutter in the home, especially at this time of year, because I mentioned the spring equinox, is to clean your windows. A lot of people don't love window cleaning. So, if you have to, hire a professional to come in and do it, $200-$300, depending on the size of your home. I've had that done for the exterior, but I actually really love cleaning my windows because I have made it a mindful practice. This is what I call clarity cleaning. So your windows represent your eyes, our vision for life. So if there's a lack of clarity, cleaning your windows is a really great exercise. And again, being present while doing this, inviting your intuition to speak to you while cleaning, being intentional about gaining clarity. This is a great, great exercise. It's one of my favorites. We can go a little deeper within the home and connect to the body. If you listen to last week's episode on body clutter, I talked about how clutter manifests in the body as pain or illness or disease, and that we can use color theory to help ease and even heal a lot of physical ailments that we experience. So for this time of year, again, bringing in that energy of spring and wood by infusing your space with light blues and greens. And that can be done in so many ways. But a few examples would be colored throws or new sofa pillows, maybe a new front door mat that's a little more colorful for the upcoming seasons, right? Or bringing in fresh flowers or a new plant, maybe just buying a new blue or green pot to replant your plants in. This time of year, our indoor plants need some fresh soil, maybe some fresh plant food, right? Nourishing our plants is also a way to connect with the body. While we're tending to our plants, we're mindfully asking, how do we need some tending to? Do we need pruned? Do we need water? Do we need a fresh pot or a fresh soil? Do we need to go for a walk in nature or just connect with the earth? Maybe we just need to go outside barefoot and ground in for a few minutes. Connect your body with your home by simply asking what it needs. In order for the body to feel more at ease, less tension, less stress, where can you lighten the load inside your home? I like to offer the idea of swapping out your textiles. Maybe you have flannel sheets on the beds for that warmth in the winter. So switching out your sheets with a lighter cotton or linen fabric is a great way to do that. And then, you can remove your bulky comforter and maybe just replace it with a throw or a light coverlet. Another idea for you is if you have heavy drapery, I like to recommend hanging more sheer fabrics in the spring and summer. I think it's a really great way to energetically and aesthetically change the feel of a room for the seasons. It really makes the whole space or the room feel light and airy. And maybe that's what your body needs too. Pay attention to the connection of where you're feeling clutter in the body and where it's showing up inside your home. So an example might be maybe you're experiencing some thyroid issues, or you've been having a lot of dental work lately, or maybe just like your jaw and your neck overall just feel very tight and tense. All of those associate to the throat chakra, and which also activates your creativity and your childlike spirit. And in your home, you might notice a lot of clutter over on the right side of your home towards the middle. What room sits there? You can start looking there for clutter clues. Another example would be body ailments associated to the heart, the lungs, the shoulders, upper back, even the breasts. This is all connected to the heart chakra, and that connects to our love and relationships area of the home. So if you're experiencing any of those physical ailments, what kind of clutter is showing up in your love corner, which would be in the far back right of your home or individual room, however you're addressing your own experiences. And I say that because we can look at the house as a whole, or we can start by just looking at one room. And I actually recommend this when we're just getting started or for anyone DIYing, especially if you're just listening to the podcast and not working with anyone specifically, whether that's a coach or a practitioner. Looking at the whole home can be quite overwhelming. But your primary bedroom is a really great place to start because it is the room that represents you, even if you share it with someone else or your partner. So this is a great place for you to start. So I hope you're starting to see how we are connecting the dots between mind, body, and home. And honestly, decluttering is the first step towards a better balance and alignment of all three. So I encourage you to sign up for the Connect with Your Clutter workshop on April 3rd. I'm going to be taking these topics, the mind, body, home, clutter, and go much, much deeper with you there. So again, the link to sign up is in the show notes. Just click there, provide your name and email address so I can send you an email when I have all the details ready. Also, go back and listen to any of the previous parts 1 and 2. Share them with your friends or your family, anyone who you think might appreciate the information. Or maybe you're looking for a friend to join you during the clutter workshop, which I highly encourage. I think that working with someone helps make the process a little bit more enjoyable, keeps you a little more accountable. As a reminder, you can always check out my website, specifically my new offering, Mind, Body, Home Alignment Coaching. It's everything I talk about here on the podcast and much more. It goes much deeper into your life as it relates to you. Right now, this is one-on-one coaching. So if a mind, body, home alignment session sounds like something you're interested in, you can book a 1-hour clarity call with me to see if we're a good fit. Right now, I'm giving $30 off that session with the code podcast. This is typically a $59 1-hour session. Your session can be used to gain some clarity. Maybe something you've heard here on the podcast is resonating with you and you want to ask me a few questions or just see if what I have to offer is a good fit for you. That's the overall purpose for these sessions, including intuitive guidance. I love inviting my guides and yours into our conversation to help navigate the right path forward for you at this time on your journey. And I'm just really so grateful to be a part of it. So please be sure to check out all of that on the website, jadescottdesign.com. Again, if you love this content and want to stay connected and be notified of all the things I have coming, please just sign up for the workshop. That will put you right on my email list. And if you can't make it live, that's okay. The workshop is going to be recorded and I'll be sharing the replay for a short time afterwards. And that's it for today. Until next week, I am sending you so much love and gratitude. Thank you so much for listening. This episode is brought to you by Jade Scott Design. Jade Scott Design houses a collection of services, products, and content that are aimed to support mind, body, and home. If you're interested in exploring your relationship to home on a deeper level, be sure to check out our website. Offerings include our signature Elemental Interiors decorating services, as well as Mind, Body, Home alignment sessions. In addition, be sure to also take a look at our home decor line, Shop Elemental. All of this and information on the Mind, Body, Home podcast can be found at jadescottdesign.com.